Boss Work Entertainment. Let's get it. Made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, yes, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss. What you really gonna do? Waste your time and not receive these blessings? If you gonna stay stuck at the bottom and motivated, not learning your lessons, better rise up, realize your potential, and aim for the sky. Got no time to be playing, polluting my body and mind with the enemy's high. I'm fed up, I'm walking in royalty, recognize you a king. Just call it to God to put you his power and you gonna do marvelous things. Recognize where you come from. It was heaven on earth, the beginning of life. 360 degrees of knowledge. Inherit your rights. I rose from the ashes, now I'm in charge and I'm taking back my control.
Hello, it's your girl Nikki with Made for a Boss TV inside the Boss Work Media Studio, and we are with the Empowerment Podcast with Deshaun the Messenger, Nikki the Influencer, and we have some wonderful guests here today. Wonderful guests in the house today. Hey, Deshaun, can you hear us over there? We got Kun the Poet in the house. What's up, Kun the Poet?
Yo.
Peace, family. What up?
Hey. We also got Sister Rashimba in the house.
Hello. I'm back again.
Thanks for coming back, you guys.
Yes,
also got my
you.
sis in the house, Savanya. How you doing?
Good. Hi, everybody.
All right. And then we have Deshaun the Messenger. And who do you have on your end with you?
I got the Reverend Cleveland Loman.
Okay. Hello, you guys. How y'all doing today?
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming on. So, Deshaun, you want to start us off? What got us started with this podcast, the Empowerment Podcast, and a little bit of an introduction, please.
Okay, so before I get into this, thank you everybody, for being here with us. This is very special. And so the way this began was that we have empowered each other, giving each other a word of power. And what that is just encouragement and uplifting one another, And the way it came to me, the way I visualized this was, God spoke everything into existence through words, and they're powerful. He simply said, let there be light. There was light. Now grasp this concept. We are created in his image. We are created in his likeness. Therefore, we have that same power, not on the same magnitude as God, but as far as on the magnitude of manifesting things that we want into our lives. When we look at the state of our people today in this nation, like a lot of people, they deal with depression. They deal with anxiety. Suicide is at an all-time high. Drugs, alcohol got people's bodies and minds polluted to the point to where they just giving up and they don't believe in themselves. So it takes us to save us. So if we can't empower one another, who else will?
Yes, indeed. That is very much the truth. We got to stay empowering one another. So, word of power for today.
So word of power for today is authentic.
Authentic. All right. Would you like to elaborate on that?
So authentic simply means just being truthful, being sincere, and being real. I think in the world today, a lot of people lack that skill to just simply be authentic, just simply be who you are, simply be the person or the people that God created us to be. I was just sharing with the Reverend Cleveland here a little while ago, like a lot of times when we participate in groups or simply conversations or being at college or at work or whatever, a lot of people don't know how to be authentic. They try to compete or compare themselves and try to perceive themselves as being something that they're not. So I look at it in the sense of being a father, being a husband, being a positive example. If I'm not authentic, like if my words don't match up with my actions, then it holds no value, and it really takes skill to do that.
Yes, indeed. So what I see with the word authentic is, put simply, is it means you are true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure of the others around you. So basically just staying true to yourself.
Yeah.
No matter if someone feel like you should be this way and you should be that way, because when you spend a lot of time trying to please other people, you're not being authentic, and you can feel it. You can feel it because your anxiety will kick in. You're trying too hard to be something that you're not. You know, it's just you can feel it, and it's stressful. It really can be stressful to not be authentic.
Yes.
It takes a lot of work.
So,
For sure.
real quick, before we move on, this is why I chose this word. Me and Nicole chose this word together, right? Because we all have a past. You know, we done all been involved in something, either to live better or for instant gratification or to make ends meet. You know, and being involved in that lifestyle, you know, as far as for myself, I wore many masks. You know, I could not really be my authentic self because sometimes people would take advantage of that, you know. And so being in the state that I'm in now, tapping into who I really am is just beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, I can be who I really am. Like, I had a duality. There was Slim, who was associated with a negative lifestyle, and then the name that my mother gave me, Deshaun. You know, I got so caught up in that lifestyle, you know, prison, the streets, drugs, the game, I completely lost track of who Deshaun was. I lost who the hell I was. You know, so now on this new journey, you know, I'm tapping into my true self, and it's allowing me to be authentic, which also means that I allow people in my circle, you know, that hold my best interest in mind as well as I do theirs. You know, authenticity. You know, I can't allow anything negative, you know, to interrupt my peace or my journey. You know, I think we can all relate to that.
Yes, definitely. So we have the Brother Reverend Cleveland there. Would you like to elaborate on the word authentic or have something to say that you would like to share? Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, there we go. So, Reverend Cleveland, do you have something you would like to share associated with that word, or anything you would like to share with our viewers?
Yes, ma'am. Authentic, that's a beautiful word because it gives you the opportunity to dig deep down in yourself and really truly understand the significance of the word. It's like you can say,
don't mean to interrupt you, but maybe bring that phone closer to you so the wind won't override your voice.
So it just means to be true to yourself. See, when I'm true to me, I can be true to you. Every day that God blessed me to be a part of a new day, I bring my best authentic Cleveland to the table. See, I learned a long time ago to not allow people to put expectations on me that I can't meet or don't want to meet. I just want to be who I am. It costs me nothing to allow other people to be who they are. If you're negative, that's your life. If you're positive, I tip my hat to you. But I can't knock you because I was negative all my life. I'm only positive now because I was negative. And because of my negativity, it helps me to be grounded every day. When I be authentic, one word comes in mind. One word. What's that word? What's that word? Come on, what is that word?
God.
No, not God. What is that word?
I don't know what word.
When we true to ourselves, we get that one word. We don't just say real. We say real within ourselves. Because when I'm looking at you right now. I met you that one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I met this young man, and I see who you are. The podcast gives me the opportunity to see you and him in a different light because of who you used to be. And because God is continuing to bless you, and the word I'm looking for is to be just authentic within ourselves. It helps us to create that word integrity.
Come on.
That's right.
Yes.
Doing the right thing when nobody's watching. See, you don't have to worry about nobody watching when you're used to doing it all the time.
That part.
See, when you're used to doing it all the time, you ain't worried about who watching and who not watching. This is what you live for.
Yes.
And I just thank you, and I thank your guests for taking the opportunity to just be right here. See, what we doing now is where we're supposed to be, sharing our experience, our strength, and our hope. We strangers getting to know each other.
Yes.
So we can create a greater form for other people to see where we came from, to know where we go. And that one word, gives us the opportunity to grow that much more than what we was yesterday. Authentic.
That's right.
Just to be real with ourselves.
Yes,
Preach,
yes,
brother.
yes. Preach, preach. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was very much needed. I really appreciate you coming on and
Thank you.
sharing.
Covered a lot.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, we I feel like someone needs to tune in. That's how I'm feeling right now, Miss Rashamba. Oh yes, and we got Miss Rashamba here. Would you like to
All right.
enlighten us on how you feel about the word today?
You
And
know, I will, and I just love what the minister said. And you know, already we are just adding one to the next because it's such a wide word in the sense that it covers so much of who we need to be. And you know, when you told me this morning what the word was going to be, I thought to myself, authenticity, authentic. And I just came up with a little thought that I wrote down. So I'm just going to read what I wrote and then just elaborate if I may.
okay.
First of all,
Yeah.
thank you, Nikki, for seeing that I'm worthy to share my part in the healing of all of us,
Yes.
you know, as a whole, because we can't do it alone. We got to do it together. So, you know, the authentic self is the self that is connected to our Creator. You know, another word for creator I like to say is Ra, which is the sun, and to each other. So we're not only created to our creator, but we're created to each other. We're connected. It reveals itself through the love and care and oneness that we have in need of, and in need of just getting it, but also giving it. It banishes division in all, including its ways of camouflaging in its existence. That's big.
That's deep.
Because there's a lot of camouflaging going on, pretending to be real, but we're really fake. So it banishes that when you're authentic. You know, and it gets rid of those things like who's winning, who over who is losing, who is rich over who is poor, who is light over who is dark. These are the ways divisions show up, my brothers and sisters. That is the way it shows up. You see, so instead authenticity searches our hearts for our commonality as children of the creation. It searches our hearts for what we have in common. What we have in common.
Yes.
Our world aches for this communion more than ever before. Because our techie world have us questioning ourselves and each other as to our worth. But when we connect our worth to the Creator that gave us all life, and what we all have in common is that time when we will be here no more. So we are really on equal playing ground, but we got to show up. The winning to me is not who wins. Is it the Lakers over the Warriors? Or, you know, we're always caught up in who wins, and the loser always sulks and walks away. But we're all winners because we're here again another day.
That's right.
We're all winners if we say, my goal is to find my authentic self and show you my true sense of who I am, and that I'm closer and connected to the Most High Ra. So I'm going to pause it there. I'm going to pause it there. You know? Yeah. Show your heart.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for sharing. It's so powerful, so powerful. Yes, she is. And I'm glad to have you in and to share all your knowledge with us and just bringing that
Authentic self.
Yes. So we want to, before we get to our very special guest, Kunda Poet, I'm going to bring in my sister Vanya, and she's going to tell us what she feels about the word and maybe give us a powerful affirmation.
It really, the word really speaks for itself, like you were saying, like the Reverend was saying, it's just bringing your true self, knowing your worth, and being able to share it with others that are maybe you never know what someone is going through, and they might need to be shown something authentic because they don't even know what it is. Forgive me, I'm so full.
Like that.
It's an honor
Yes.
to
Like that.
sit here and be able to share my authenticity with you guys. Even with the tears, I'm just moved. And this is my authentic me. When I'm moved by something, the tears come, and it's good. I do. I appreciate. Yeah, I'm so honored. Like, when sis told me what the word was gonna be, I was just like, oh my goodness. I couldn't wait to just be here and share the energy. So thank you for having me. Yeah, this is authenticity at its finest right now.
And we love you for that.
Thank you.
We love you for being able to show us your heart and wearing it.
Come on.
You see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Hey,
yes.
wearing your heart.
Where your heart?
All right.
Get
Where your
from
heart.
Kuna Poet.
Yes. All
yes,
right.
yes.
So-
Oh, well, no further ado, we're going to bring in our very special guest, Kuna Poet, to share with us a few things about himself, his journey. He is definitely one for the word authentic.
That's correct.
Appreciate y'all. Peace, family. How we feeling?
I mean, literally, nursing himself back to good health, literally. One rhyme after heavy line at a time with each verse. His pain was reversed, taking him one heartbeat further away from being a flat line, giving his back the embrace. To keep a straight face in a crooked place. Trust me when I say it ain't so easy being a stand-up guy with a cracked spine.
Hey.
Okay. Now, proper introduction. Yeah.
Yes. Kuna Poet himself. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm blessed. And I'm honored. I woke up with the message about what the topic for the day is, and immediately my blood started pumping. I feel like this word has been the theme of my week. And it's been coming up heavily. Been spending a lot of time, just like really spending a lot of time in stillness, being like really still, and spending a lot of time going inward. I'm actually coming up on a birthday in about a week. Next week's my birthday on the 17th, and I'll be turning chapter 34. And for those that are, my followers, my loved ones, my family, my supporters, my Wear Your Heart tribe, last year, 33, it was my golden 33. But this year, it's really been, and it was a lot of refinement, testing, trying of last year, a lot of a lot of sculpting and shaping, and that doesn't always feel good. So this year, it's really been okay, we didn't battled, we didn't warred, and now it's being still to reap benefits and to really be okay with walking in all parts of who I am. That's always been the journey. That's always been the goal, but being able to be truly okay. So what I did want to say on the topic is I believe to be authentic is to walk in your truest self, but there's levels to it. Because we go through levels.
Yep. Oh, one moment. Sorry, we're getting a caller in. Hello. Sorry to interrupt, Kuna Poet. We got a caller in. May I ask who's speaking?
Yes, this is Nathaniel Green speaking.
Hi, Nathaniel Green. Thanks for calling in. We were just listening to some words from Kuna Poet, so if you would like to hold one moment and let him finish, and then we'll have you on.
Okay.
Okay.
Peace,
All
brother.
right.
Peace, brother. I ain't gonna be too long. I'm gonna just get this one out.
No problem.
For sure. So there's levels to it. Levels to, because being first and foremost, you have to know thyself, right? To be you, we always grow, we change, we shift. So me having a birthday, coming into my 34, who is Kuna in his mid 30s versus who I was when I was a youngster, 15 years old, 20 years old, 25 years old, even 30 years old. And that's the part we don't talk about too often. What does that work look like to know thyself? What does that work? What does it look like to be still within who you are and accept who you are and embrace who you are? A lot of us, we use the term, especially when we come from certain environments we've come from, stay real, be real. And so we think that being real means to be what everybody else is being, because that environment that environment is programmed a certain kind of way, right? And so if I'm from South Sacramento, being from where I'm from, it's programmed in me, or it's programmed in me to have to behave a certain kind of way. What I learned in my know thyself journey, I can still be who I am from where I'm from, and still honor thyself. And so I believe it's really about honoring without having to try to be, right? Trying to be versus being. That makes sense.
Yes.
Yes.
I once wrote a piece, and maybe I once wrote a piece called Let Me Be. And I remember sitting in my mother's kitchen while all the chaos was going on around me while I was writing that piece. And it's a piece I share often, but what I don't get to share is like the journey to it, and who I was actually speaking to.
Yes.
Then I realized that as I started evolving, I was speaking to all of them.
Yes.
Like
yes.
everybody, like, and I actually use it as like, it's like a martial art piece. Like I use it for like war. When I feel the energy of those, like, yo, y'all trying to fit me in your box and want me to hold myself to that standard. Oh, well, you know, you supposed to represent the youth, or you supposed to, oh, brother, you represent God. What are you doing over? I'm all of that. I'm all of that, and I am who I am in the instruction that I'm given. So honoring thyself is honoring thy creator. So if I'm giving an instruction, I don't care if you're my grandfather, grandmother, I don't care if you're the president of the United States, I don't care if you are a pastor from over here, I'm gonna honor the whisper in my heart given at that moment in that time. Not everybody has the same assignment, and not every finger on the hand has the same position. And they don't have the same operation. Right? It's not dishonorable for the thumb to behave like a thumb behaves, although the pinky moves different.
Yes.
The index finger moves different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so I think it's really about like getting to that point of stillness to where you can accept self. Accept like, yo, no, this is just how I operate. I be up all night creating. My mama used to be, boy, you got the lights on, you up at all hours of the night. You need to go to sleep. You need to, or maybe I need to take this time to really listen. Because maybe that's my operation for my purpose, for my journey, for my calling, for my assignment.
Yes. Speak.
Could I close out with this piece?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And I say,
Really?
and for my people out there in IG land, some of y'all have heard this piece. I'm gonna talk directly into my camera. Some of y'all heard this piece, but I want y'all to try to listen to it differently. I want you to listen to it as if it is you fighting to be your truest self.
Authentic.
Your truest authentic self. And I want you to also use this piece to like as a compass to help you find yourself if you're in the middle of that journey currently. And then we say, y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Yeah, y'all gonna let me be. Y'all gonna let me be. My heart used to be hard to see, but now I show it easily. See, being hard, that's too hard to be. But don't get it twisted. I really learned how to be hard from these streets. When we were young, you couldn't kick it if you wasn't a beast. To run the jungle, you needed lion-like tendencies, or you'll get tested on any day over anything. The wrong posture will have your head brought to your knees, and so we learn to keep our head on the swivel, but forward motion at all times. Because staring too hard, you could be crossing the wrong line. See, more than 3 seconds of eye contact was considered too long of a time because you don't know who homie got beef with. He might start tripping on some paranoid PTSD tip, whip out the pistol and start busting and empty the full clip. Rest in peace to some of the homies that we all grew with. Rest in peace to some of the kids that we went to school with. True story. And truth is, we all had our traumas. We all had dysfunction and we all had drama. Even a passive kid will punch you out about his mama. grow up and they get tatted death over dishonor. But I'm like, y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be? And so I developed a peace there. Look at your spirit and let you know you good here. Connect with your heart and let you know that you good here. I wear my heart to let them know that I'm good here. I wear my heart to let them know that I'm good here. So just wear your heart to let them know you good here. You good here. Be authentically you. Be authentically you. Be authentically you. And it's okay. Whether or not they really like it, or whether or not you feel like it, be you authentically.
Hey,
Hey.
Wear your heart, wear your heart, wear your heart.
Coon the poet.
Woo!
Coon the
You blessed
Yeah.
our mic today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You always have that positive atmosphere. You always have that good vibe, that good energy. Always authentic since I met you. Just a table full of authentic people. I'm loving it. So be authentic, y'all. Be authentic. Yes, yes, yes. So Deshaun the messenger. I think we got a few callers.
Okay, let's get to it.
Let's go.
Hello, who is on the phone with us today? We got Kirk
my
on the
name is
line.
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. Hi, Nathaniel.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
That's
Thanks
my
for-
boy Nathan Great from school. Okay.
Yes, sir. What's up, Deshaun?
What's happening, brother? It's good to hear from you.
Oh, man, likewise. It's always a blessing.
Always a blessing. So look, do me a favor, brother. It's a blessing to have you here. I'm gonna give you 2 to 3 minutes to expound on the word authentic, how it resonates with you, and you can choose to empower someone or be empowered.
Okay. The word authentic. Well, to me, that pertains to originality. Like, I was always huge on like being original growing up. Like, even when I was way younger, you know, like from elementary to middle school, like to high school, and so after, because like I felt like a sense inside that like I was unique. I didn't know the reason why at first, you know, because I was like real humble. You know, my mother always raised me to be humble and stuff. So I always consider myself to be on equal grounding with everyone else. But at the same time, though, I did feel like I was kind of like in a different lane than everyone else, and I never like identified the reason why until I became an adult. So being authentic was something huge to me and something unique, and I finally got it. I was like, I started figuring out who I am as a person. I started figuring out like the stuff I like. I started figuring out like my capabilities. I started figuring out like my gift.
Yeah.
That I bring to people and to the world. And I noticed like even with certain guys that I grew up with, like certain people wouldn't gravitate towards them. And like me and them guys, we lived the same lifestyle, but they wouldn't gravitate towards them, but they'll gravitate towards me. And I'd just be like, why is that? Like, what the hell? Like I do the same stuff like that they do, you know? But I don't know, like, my grandmother used to always say that I was very charismatic and stuff growing up, and that I was a people's person. So I realized as an adult, like, oh yeah, like I think I do have that gift. Like it didn't matter where I would be at in life. It could be like in school, it could be like in my neighborhood, it could be even when I like was incarcerated, when I was in jail, like all different types of walks of life will like gravitate towards me. And in jail out here in California, it's like these stupid politics. So
yeah, so just
they be like, oh, you can't talk to
authentic.
this person. Yeah, you know, they're like, oh, you can't talk to this person, you can't share food with this person, or you can't play cards with this person. And then I used to always like rebel against that.
Yeah,
I'd be like, why?
But-
You know what I mean? Like, well, what's the reason? You know, like on the street, like I'm friends with all different types of cultures. It's
Mm-hmm.
not, I am black, and I love being black. Black is beautiful.
Yes,
But
sir.
at the same time, I know about our culture. We love everybody. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the world, they have this stigma on us, and then they want to hate on us.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be that way, in my opinion, but they do. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I know that has something to do with themselves. They need to self-reflect on themselves and see the reason why they hate us.
Mhm.
Deep down inside, I feel like they want to be us, you know, or they're jealous of what we have inside of us in our anatomy.
Yeah, but at the
But
same time, as long as you stay authentic and worry about staying authentic, no one can overpower that. You know what I mean? And so what we're doing today is maybe trying to
exactly,
teach people that are not used to being authentic or don't have the courage to be authentic, because you never know why,
Yeah,
the reason why they're not being authentic, you know. But
that's right.
today we're trying
yeah,
to empower anyone that needs to hear it and be okay with
Mm-hmm.
themselves to be themselves.
And may I chime in on
Mm-hmm.
that a little
oh yeah,
bit? Because you see,
definitely,
those opportunities that you have where you meet people along the way, and there's an element of competition, and there's an element of challenges. Those are the opportunities to learn the lessons, because you
Mm-hmm.
see,
hmm
we are all connected to the Most High. Depending on which name you want to call the higher power in creation, but we all evolved into the world the same way. But as we have a
Yeah.
different, unique face, a unique name, unique job to do. We
Mm.
all have a unique job to do that is different. But it's when our jobs become competitive, when my way is better than their way, and his way and she way, and my money is greater than your money. That's when it gets, that we have to go deeper and ask, wait a minute, what is the authenticity in all of this?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
right, right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to
Yeah.
pause there.
Well spoken, sister. Well spoken.
Oh, thank
So
you.
Nate, can you hear me, brother Nate?
Yes, sir.
So do you want to be empowered or do you want to empower someone?
Well, I've already been on this journey of empowerment, and I feel like I'm gonna continue that for like the next 10, 20 years. You know, especially being a father, I want my kids to be inspired by me.
That's
So,
right.
you know, I'm in tune. I'm tapped in with my inner self and with my higher power. But
Okay.
I want to empower other people today. Like I was also always big on being different, because being different is good to me. So if whoever is having an issue with their authenticity, like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they should just embrace it.
That's right, brother. That's right. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, brother, for calling in today.
Thank you.
No problem. No
Yes,
problem. Thank you for
very
having me.
much. Thank you very much. Do we still have Nick on the line? Kirk. Do we still have Kirk on the line? Hi, Kirk.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for holding.
Hello,
Kirk.
everyone.
Thank you.
Hello,
Thanks, Kirk.
Kirk.
Thanks for
Oh, it was
joining
worth
us
it.
today. Yes. So tell us.
Sometimes listening is the better thing to do. That's how we grow.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, indeed. So you heard our topic today, the word of
Yeah.
power. Would you like to
Yeah, I
elaborate on authentic?
yes, when you first said that, when I called in, that was going to be the word, all this starts popping through my mind, and I'm like, well, this is what authentic is to me. Authentic is by whatever name or face in the world that one applies to our creator and creation is all the same. To me, it is. To be authentic, I have to be in tune with the love of our creator and creation. I see our creator in dirt, rocks, wood, trees, bugs, animals, humans. It's all part of it's all part of who I believe we are. And when we get when we're done with enough suffering and we are able to open up our authentic self to creator and creation, it is a feeling of such peace and understanding for me. And God loves us. We love others. God serves us. We serve others. God helps us. We help others. That's how I kind of base now. That is how I base my perspective on life. I've said it before. It's like, I don't know if any of you have ever been in a really, really large warehouse where all they sell is lamps. And there's, 10,000, 15,000 lamps in this warehouse. And they're tall, they're short, they're round, they're square, they're every color imaginable. But when you take that shade off, that facade, they all have the same thing, the light. And the light is our soul. And I look at people like that today. When negative influences try to come for me, because they always try to attack good, I shine so bright with creation that they can take one look at me and they'll turn around and walk away. I don't have to fight with people anymore. I have my boundaries, and I just don't allow negativity into my life or my thought process anymore. But I'm a bit older than most of you, and we all suffer. Everybody in the world is mentally ill. If they say they're not, they really are. We all, we all have our quirks and our traumas we've been through, and I just believe that that's part of life, and that's how we learn, and that's how we grow, and that's how we evolve. And when we leave this planet, we're going to evolve spiritually, and that is authentic to me, and that's what keeps me happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. So, Nikki, I got Lloyd Baker here with me now too.
Okay, welcome.
This brother has been dedicated to calling into the podcast, but due to volume of callers, he hasn't been able to really get through. So let's welcome him on here today.
Oh, yay.
Well, welcome on in. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for just being here today and wanting to speak with our viewers.
He chose a good day too, huh? He chose a good day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So Lloyd, the word of power today is authentic. So if you can expound on what that means to you, how it resonates to you, and maybe empower someone or yourself.
Authentic. One thing about truth is that it is consistent. When you start thinking about the authenticity of an individual, it's for me, it's the consistency within the individual's truth, knowing that no one's perfect, that there will be mistakes. However, just being authentic with yourself, being honest with where you are at with yourself, the honesty of what your capabilities are, and really realizing, what it is that you as an individual has done and can do. For me, being a former gang member, I used to think that the authenticity of that individual, it wasn't even a word then, but the realness, when you think of the word authentic, you think real. The real were those who put in the work, those who stole the most, made the most money. To me, that was real. But now, after many years and many experiences of life, I come to realize what the truth of the individual is, and it's a lot of times it's past the words to the intentions of the individual's heart, the authenticity that reaches beyond just a person saying what it is that they will do, but that in which they do. So it's a word that is now making its way into a lot of people who are in recovery, people who are transitioning in their mentality. A lot of people who are growing in their own spiritual nature, who are realizing actually what this word means and how to express it through their actions. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
I love that. And again, I want to chime in unless someone wants to beat me to it.
Yes, go right on in.
You know, a lot of the guests and people that I hear sharing their truth, you know, they start from after the challenges have occurred. And so I'm kind of, the question that I was pondering as the gentleman was speaking was, you know, we're born connected to our Creator. So we come into this world already new and ready to vibe at the highest level as babies, you know, and there's something that upsets the flow that make us have to take this almost like a long way around back to the truth. And as we know it, there are people that become the pawn, the example. The ones that have to leave early, that had to die, that their goal was to show you what that side looks like. And yet, you know, and I speak of it when I think of the young youths that wanted what you want, that is still exists here now, the ones that are still here. And so we have a responsibility when we think of our authentic self, that we're doing it because we're doing it for those that couldn't, that they were actually the pawn in the game of life. Because ultimately, we all have to go. There's some people that are about to celebrate their 9th decade, 90 years. When there are those that you say, you're brand new, and why do you have to go at 19? Why can't you stay? And so it's a spiritual word in a sense, because authenticity could mean so much to different people because of the journey of why we are all here. But what we all have in common is we were created. Okay, we were created and we have life. And in that life, we have choice of what we're going to show, what we're going to procreate, you know, not just little people, but we're going to procreate also the negativism that we have to work through, the selfishness, you know, because that's what we have a world. So when these brand new babies come into the world, they're waiting to smile and be happy. And some of them don't even have to wait till be a teenager for the drama to hit them so hard. So I think we have to really pay attention to how we spend our time. You know, and when you're young, you know, you want to explore the world as a whole. So I understand that. But then it's those that we come to see that's here to care for us, that let drop the ball, you know, and those that control the tell-lie vision that defines who we be. So we have to go down and around the corner before we get to our authentic self. So we must be vigilant of what we let into our spiritual self, that part that came with us, you know, that God side of us, that side that unites us. So if our world is crying out in pain, I think we have work to do. And it's not just me for me and you for you. It's a we thing.
It's a we thing. We need to put that on a t-shirt.
Let's go. It's a
It's
we
a
thing.
we thing. It's a we thing. And you know, starting from the youth is very important, and that's what I do admire about Kun the Poet. He definitely goes around the community, and I believe he teaches the youth to, what is our word of power today? Be authentic. He definitely does that. He pulls that out of them for sure. Don't you? Don't you?
That's your way of saying jump in the water a little bit deeper. All right, for sure. I got you. Absolutely. I believe so. One of my first spoken word albums, the title was, and this was a duo. I was a part of Illegal Tag Team, but the title of our first album was "The Hands That Rock the Cradle Rule the World." And it was because that album was actually used to like climb out of just like a lot of the corrosion, a lot of the inauthenticity that we're taught, programmed in, right? A lot of we actually used to call it BS rules that we were taught to live by. And what I realized is, and the reason why I do the work I do with the young people, is because there are many hands that rock our cradle, right? The television with some media, television that was mentioned. It's not just our parents, right? A lot of the things I was taught and shown came from some of my uncles, right? Grandparents, big cousins and whatnot. And then stepping outside of the family dynamic, we got environmental stuff. On my way to school, there was many hands that played their part in rocking cradles. And then I realized, like, yo, there's a lot of youngsters that's actually watching you, whether you know it or not. There's a lot of elders that's watching you and that's learning from you.
Right, that's right.
We have a responsibility. I heard that word earlier from Ms. Rashumba, right? The responsibility is to, as much as possible, rock the cradle with an authentic hand. If they're following your lead, I mean, this matter of fact, I'll just use an example. Last night, stepped into a spot where there was some music playing. It was one of my bro's birthdays, and really, it wasn't my full vibe, but it was vibe enough for me to be as authentic as I possibly can in that space, right? So I'm rocking a little bit. Those that know me know I like to authentically move, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. And it was a youngster. And all I did was a couple movements. Like, I'm just, a little bop with the shoulders. And he was like, and I watched him watch as if I was really turning up and cutting up on the dance floor. And he stopped. He was like, yo, I like that. And in that moment, it reminded me of, like, really who I was and reminded me of my hand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That I have that hand to influence, right? Even my little, it's kind of like that Mack truck on the freeway. The little movements look like a big movement. Right? That Mack truck swerved just a little bit, you're going to feel like he jumped into your lane.
Yes.
And so it's kind of always been that. Never, and it didn't always work in my favor.
Yeah.
Right? As a youngster. But these days, I've learned and I'm learning how to, hey, yo, if you got the spotlight on you, you have a responsibility to be mindful of how you rocking. Right? Like on the dance floor. I'm like, when I peeped that, like, first he started watching, and then all 7 of them in the crew, because they got in a circle, and they're like, yo, I like that. And
That's how you know you an influencer.
Man, and I'm just like, all right, let me, and it's very much like a magician. I'm like, yo, or a puppet master. I'm like, yo, any direction I go, they're going to roll with it because they're looking for permission.
Yeah.
Right? Much of, like, a lot of the next generation, they are looking for permission from our OGs, from our elders to keep it real. Like, and I was born in '89. For those in Northern Cali, I call myself we call us affectionately earthquake babies. Right? Earthquake in '89. Boom, we came out of the crack of that. Right? Also at that time, those that know that also was crack era, crack epidemic. But I believe there was a chosen few that was called to shake things up a little bit. Right? And so with that shaking up things a little bit, it's important to, like, just know sometimes we gonna go against sometimes we go against the grain. Sometimes we might rock to a different rhythm. Some of the elders, I'm gonna keep it real. Because of what was going on at the time, and it was a lot of systemic things, but a lot of them wasn't near while the cradle was rocking. Right? So Unc might have to pull up. I'll just keep it even more. My pops left at a particular time when I was 3 years old. But my uncle stepped up. My uncles stepped up. Both different styles of rocking my cradle, but I absorbed it. I absorbed both. Right? The parts of me that stay on my fitness and work out or whatever the case, and that's my uncle. Shout out to my Uncle Mark. The parts of me that's a little street savvy, that's my Uncle Mike.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, but they both taught me how to be able to, they showed me balance in their own way. They showed me manhood in their own way. They showed me authenticity in their own way, even when they were trying to figure it out. So my encouragement,
were still being authentic
to where they were at the time in a moment, right? One of my uncles got out. He did time, penitentiary, got out. When I was about 18, 19, we had a different conversation.
Yeah.
Right? Because his authentic hand at that time was different.
Yes.
But also mine was too. And so we were able to meet in the middle. So my encouragement for everyone, be still within who you are. Know that who you are is enough. And know somebody's watching you. Right? So if you live like there's a surveillance camera on you, right? We know that eye in the sky, that eye in our heart, the creator, the most high, that's for sure a surveillance camera. If we connected to the if we connected to the highest connection, that means we connected to all. We connected to the trees. We connected to the insects, the grass. We come on. I hear you, Brother Kurt. So be okay with being connected to self. Be okay with being like, yo, I don't like, bro, you do poetry. Coming up from where I came from, it wasn't cool to do poetry. But it was in me that way. It was in me that way, and I couldn't turn away from it. There's many that have turned away from things that was because it wasn't cool for the environment. I don't care how it might have been. I just like to collect things.
Yeah.
The Creator put those things in us for the sake of our gifting, for the sake of our assignments and our responsibilities. Be true to that. I don't care. I don't care if it ain't cool for the environment. You'll be surprised how authenticity changes each level. The same ones that was turning their nose up be the same ones coming to me when they be, hey, bro, I'm just trying to do something different. You know, you got some. You still doing those shows? And I'm just trying to be around positivity, right? The same, and I'm gonna speak the same girls that was turning their nose up. I'm gonna tap in with Mike Jones real quick. Back then, back
then they didn't want it.
Come on, they all know. Come on, right? And it's because we all have different levels, right? And we all have different timing for our levels. But as long as you stay, because you could have been pretending the whole time and then miss your mark, and then by the time they try to catch up to you, you ain't even there. By the time they're ready to catch you, you're not there no more. So I'll just leave it that.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I say that all the time. Wear your heart, wear your heart, wear your heart, wear your heart.
Let me jump in on that real quick.
Yeah, jump in on that.
Let me jump in on that. I've heard a lot of good things today, and something that kind of resonated to me was, I heard the words responsibility. I heard the words influence, so I think about, something that Brother Coon, the poet, just shared about no matter where we was at that time, that was who we were. We had to kind of embrace it and kind of accept it. And I understand that, so it's part of my motivation now, as the man I am today. Like, I hold a duty and a responsibility for the generation that came after me, he mentioned that there's eyes always watching. So I think about, I'm sure we all heard when we was a kid, boy, do what I say, not as I do, but it's really important. No, do what I say and what I do, because whether directly or indirectly, we influence a generation, so I think about when, I was caught up in my madness, I influenced a generation after me for the negative, whether directly or indirectly, so now is the way that I move. I understand that every move that I make is bigger than me. Like, all of us, every move that we make is bigger than us because we have a platform and we have the power to influence so many. It's so much bigger than what we think. And I just wanted to chime in on that, and I thank y'all.
Definitely.
I wanted to get a little piece of that myself.
Jump in. It's enough cake and pie to go around. Yeah.
I was sitting here and I was listening. I'm listening to you. I like that name, the poet. The poet. You're a deep brother, man. I like that. Yes. But what I wanted to share with you is that, your light is shining now. And so because your light is shining, people want what you got. That's happiness. They see your smile. They see your joy. And they know where you come from. And to have all that happiness and joy, how did he get that? I want that too. You know what I'm saying? So you continue to keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to influence people that you don't even know about. Because they know about you. And when they see who you are today, that light shines so bright that I'm already shining. I want some of your light.
Get some.
You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is. See, goodness rubs off on people, man.
Yeah.
And when you are able to see the goodness in others, not only do you want it, you want to share it.
Yeah.
So keep letting your light shine, brother, because you're doing the right thing, man.
I
appreciate you, OG.
I mean?
Thank you,
Reverend Cleveland.
Thank you, Reverend
That's
Cleveland.
right.
Really
Hey, do we got Christy Davis on the line still?
Hello.
They gone? Okay.
Christy Davis? No. But we still
She
got
gone,
you
okay.
on the line, and maybe you want to share something with us, maybe a poem or a rap or something to uplift. You know you got talent over there, the messenger. You got a message for us?
Come on.
I always got a message for it.
All right.
So here we go. This was a point in my life where, you know, I was kind of borderline. I was straddling the fence, you know, on whether I should go left or go right. So just feel me. I know it's a God, so dear Lord, change this life, because most of my homies is in the court facing 3 strikes. Know it's a God, take away the devil's curse, because where I live, all the ghetto children hurt. I know it's a God, can you take away my pain, because where I dwell is teardrops and blood stains. Feeling like a lost soul, because my life is hard, getting blowed in the wind, but I'm knowing that it's a God. Every day that I live, it's like I take another step closer to the gates of hell, grasping for my breath. It ain't getting no better, my situation's getting worse. Find a way out the game before you end up getting hurt. I'm letting the world know we victims of the state, locked up, doing time, mistreated, and can't escape. Tell me who can relate to families being broke up, getting letters from your kids saying mama smoked a checkup, eviction notice being stapled to the front door. They ain't old enough to work, so they start slinging dope. Your baby mama gone, ain't nowhere to be found. If your kids all alone in the streets running buck wild, what's the next step? Yep, trying to earn a rep. If you soft in the streets, you end up getting slept. Just added on drama to the stress we dealing with. I'm knowing he exists because we caught up in the mix. I know it's a God, so dear Lord, change his life. Most of my homies is in the courts facing 3 strikes. I know it's a God, take away the devil's curse, because where I live, all the ghetto children hurt. I know it's a God, can you take away my pain, because where I dwell is teardrops and blood stains. Feeling like a lost soul, because my life is hard, getting blowed in the wind, but I'm knowing that it's a God. I also wonder this, is there heaven on earth, a peaceful spot to kick it, living life for what it's worth? I feel like I've been cursing to the day that I'ma die, sentenced to public housing and prisons to survive. If I change my ways, can you help me through the storm? And if I change my life, will I be happy till I'm gone? Tell me, can you take away disease and poverty, open the eyes of the blind and the rest of society? Can you take away the hate and all the pain and the murder, make life a little easier for all of us that's hurting? Open up them prison gates and tear the walls down. The whole world is lost, but you can make us all found. All I'm really asking is make the world a better place. And can you put a smile on every ghetto child's face? Everybody I love, I want them all to stand tall. My final question is this, you really love us all? I know it's a God, so dear Lord, change this life. Most of my homies is in the courts facing 3 strikes. Know it's a God, take away the devil's curse, because where I live, all the ghetto children hurt. I know it's a God, so can you take away my pain, because where I dwell is teardrops and blood stains. Feeling like a lost soul, because my life is hard, getting blown in the wind, but I'm knowing that it's a God.
We knowing it's a God. Hey, by Deshaun the Messenger.
Powerful, powerful.
I just love it. I love all your testimony raps. You just got so much in your poetry. They ain't heard that yet, but you got good poetry that I save all the time. That is poetry, huh? Rap is poetry. Let me excuse myself. Thanks for correcting me, because rap is poetry. Poetry is rap. Yes.
Yeah.
Telling the story in general.
There's many styles to this art form, right?
correct.
Poetry is a gigantic umbrella.
It is. It's
Under that umbrella, spoken words one.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot in every single genre of music as well. Different forms of storytellers. What you did was you gave us. So back in ancient West Africa, they call those griots.
Correct.
Right, which are the storytellers, the messengers, those that kept the history of the tribes and the villages. That's what we do, regardless of what your style of delivery is. That's what we do.
For sure. Thank you, brother. Much love and respect.
Yes, indeed.
Lovely. So, you know, every generation must tell the tale. You know, every generation must let the heart tell the tale. And that's often the way that heart speaks. You know, because when you're backed against the wall and everything seems to be imploding,
come on,
then the spirit comes out in a poetic way. You see? So I'm sure when you wrote that poem, there was something deeply going on that you had no choice but to get up and get it out.
Yeah.
You know, and get it out.
Yeah.
And so, guess what? I'm a poet too.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And if you don't mind, I'm gonna share one of mine. Because
me too.
Yeah, because you know when you've been somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you've been somewhere, and you know, and you've survived something, and you're still here, then you must tell the story. So
yeah,
you know, everything is about authenticity. Even the writing of my poem is an authentic poem because it came from me when I was being authentic with my reality.
Yeah.
Yo, it's all about poetry. And so this one was called Suppressing the Truth. Hey, humans, let me ask you a question. Is your life an undeniable mess? Does every day find you indecisive and depressed? You wake up token, plenty of that aromatic smoking. If that's not enough, call the doctor for some of that medicine stuff. You know, the one that sedates you, yeah, makes you feel numb. Now the world is beating its I got you drum, calling you by name. Hey, failure. Bum, bum. Yeah, you've been rocking and rhyming with that rhythm, creating all kinds of schisms that on outward generates millions of dollars. Somebody holla. But know that fantasy ain't real. Suppression of the truth is the cause of your spiritual muteness. Truth is whispering, it's time to untie me and let me out. I'm not gonna scream, I'm not gonna shout. I've always been here for you spiritually, no doubt. Now, gently open your heart's door and let me out. Breathe truth, be truth freely.
Ashe.
Ashe,
Yeah.
Ashe, Ashe.
Hey.
Drop it down, drop it down, drop it down a slot or two.
I saw the shit.
Hey, Deshaun, brother Reverend Cleveland got a poem he want to spit too.
Okay. And turned it into the cipher, huh?
Turned it into the cipher.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
okay. All
This
right.
is Kirk. I got a poem for you too.
Okay, Kirk, we got you next.
All right. Here we go. This is Cleveland. I'm tired of all this destruction. We need to come together as a people and build something. Brothers hating brothers for the smallest of reasons. Their sisters are feeling the pain. They're trying to get even. People talking about it was the dope that made me do it. Now that's a poor excuse for us supposed to be human. Life is strange with its twists and its turns. As we move down the road, we will eventually learn that the past keeps us down if we let it. Just forget it. Stay strong, keep the faith, and look for a new day. Reverend Cleveland told you that.
Hey, Reverend Cleveland. Ashe, Ashe.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
I like the poem, sister. I like that. That was
thank
deep.
you. Thank you. It's from the heart. It's from the authentic
Yes,
core.
yes. Where you at, Kirk?
And I believe Kirk got
I'm
one
right
for
here.
us. All right, let's go, Kirk.
Well, this is from a long time ago, and I was in a poetry club in prison, and they asked us to write about our nickname. And in prison, I never would allow anybody to give me a nickname, but when I was young, my nickname was Birdman. And I'll share this with you. It's not about today. It's about like where I came from, you know?
Okay.
So it goes youthful days, constantly changing, Bay of Pigs, Vietnam, civil rights, inauguration, assassination, dedication, JFK, LBJ, SLA, RMN, CIA, FBI, ATF, KGB, man on the moon, nuclear proliferation, the Cold War. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Pink Floyd, and the Moody Blues. Peruvian Flake, Acapulco Gold, Nepalese Fingers, Orange Sunshine, and the magic of mushrooms. Rolling green hills covered with springtime flowers, blue surf, bonfires, and orange sunsets. Hugs, kisses, and electric wine. Oh, what a time. Amongst that, a bird was born, nicknamed by his brother. His long, slim legs and pronounced nose, what some said resembled a flamingo. The free flight of his spirit, the enthusiasm for his future, the love of his family. Theme song, Free Bird. as he soared with his dreams, embracing the adventurousness of what came his way, feisty and courageous as a thunderbolt, yet aside as soft as a rose. Birdman. P.S. By no means does this poem meant to glorify drug use. It was just part of that time in my life.
Yeah.
And
Very nice. Very
thank you.
nice.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. Thank you for supporting us from our very first podcast, Kirk. We really appreciate you. Thanks for coming back on and sharing today.
Yeah, just so you guys know, I went and saw my surgeon this week, and I'm going in to have the cancer tumors cut out in about 3.5 weeks. So, just so you guys know,
we're going to keep you on our prayer.
Oh, it's going to go good. I'm a survivor. You guys know that. I am a survivor, and I don't look at this as a bad thing. It's just another learning experience that when you get older, you got to stay on top of your health. You got to take control of your medical necessities so we can serve our Lord longer and be there for who needs us. Even though I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, I run into people all the time that I share with, and I help them to find resources so they can better their lives. You know,
that's right.
And
Nikki, don't you have a affirmation jar for us today?
I do have an affirmation jar. Let me grab it real quick. Hold on a moment.
The show.
While I'm grabbing the affirmation jar, we have Savanya on the line that wanted to say a few things.
Yeah.
But go ahead and speak till I get back, Deshaun.
Okay, so man, everybody, I just really appreciate y'all today. This has been a beautiful experience. I'm looking forward to many more. You know, and this is what it's about right here: community, building, encouragement, upliftment. You know, and this is a small circle of truth. You know, where I am right now, we have this philosophy and all these little sayings that break down and means things. So one that I'm feeling right now is inside of every circle of truth, a larger circle can grow. So this small circle of authenticity, as long as we continue to exude that, once we go our separate ways, this circle will grow larger.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So we got Savanya on the line. What would you like to say to our viewers?
This has been an honor. Just to hear the different opinions and perspectives, the metaphors used, it's been all just like very eye-opening. I've learned a lot today, just being still. Sometimes, you know, being authentic means sometimes you just have to be still.
Correct.
And that's one of my authenticities that I'm going to start using a lot more in the future, because if I'm not still and listen, then it's going to pass me by and I won't learn anything. So my stillness is going to bring that authenticity to the table more. My stillness, just being still and listening. It was good to listen. Like I don't always need to say something.
Hey, thank you, sis. Look, Savanya been with us kind of since the beginning of this Word of Power journey. You know, I just want to give her some acknowledgement on that. You know, she was in the car with Nikki one day, and we was giving each other a word of power and affirmations and building each other up. And I don't know what happened, but something hit her, and she just jumped in. I got a word of power. So, hey,
loyalty is one of my favorite words of power. Authenticity, they all coincide, and trust, kindness is a word of power. Kindness, being kind to even when people aren't being kind. Just it's hard, but be kind. What you put out into the world is what you get back.
Yes, indeed.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate you, sis. I appreciate you coming out and being on the podcast today. So I have an affirmation jar to share. We're all going to pick something out of it, and we're going to read it. And this is, she's actually my cousin, but she has her own line. It's the JJC Creations. And she does these wonderful affirmation jars, but she does a lot of other things as well. But I'm going to share with you the affirmation. So everybody, let's pick one.
brother.
All right. So who wants to go first on reading their affirmation? Go ahead, Sabrina. Let me give you the mic real quick.
Okay, actually, I need my glasses for this one.
Okay.
Let me get my glasses. Hold on, y'all.
Are you telling your age?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
well, that's
I
good.
am.
Don't run from it.
No, I'm no shame.
Okay.
You got a birthday coming up. Too.
I do. I do.
Happy birthday.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thank you. This one, I love this one. I love this one because I live kind of by these words. They have a problem, not you. I don't have to live with what other people do. They have a problem, not me.
That's right.
Yes, speak.
That's right.
Speak.
I love it.
Well,
I love this.
Thanks for reading it. Go ahead, Brother Coon the Poet.
Every day I am getting healthier and stronger. Yeah, so I received that wholeheartedly. I've been really, and especially at this part of my journey, I've been really going inward, really mastering health, really mastering the greatest version of myself in that. And strength is not always physical. Correct. Like really in this season, mastering that emotional strength, that spiritual strength, that mental strength, no matter the environment, being able to stay still on my throne. Correct. Allowing nothing to sway or cause wavering at all, regardless of what the atmosphere say. Like being able to stay authentic, right? Even in the most testing and trying of situations, because some situations will bring you into the other part of your
Yeah.
Like, hold on. Oh, war? Oh, y'all said war? Oh, y'all didn't know I was born on a military base, huh? But being able to stay into the truest of the truth, like it's not necessarily about where you're from, but staying into your futuristic healthy, your futuristic strong. One of the things that kind of like got me back grounded was, and this is what I've been still in, it ain't that I can't thrive in a warrior version of myself. Who is the best you? Cool. And the best me is the me that's able to stay connected with my authentic inner child. The me that would play. The me that smiled. The me that would dance because I heard the sound that made me feel something.
Yes,
right?
yes,
The me that's okay with dropping a tear.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Every day I am getting healthier, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. We're talking holistic health, and every day I'm getting stronger.
Yes,
right? Holistically.
That was a great affirmation. Yes. All right, Miss Rashumba, what do you have?
Well, mine says, I bring inner peace to myself.
Into this room.
I bring, even my voice, when it's time to speak from the depth of me, even my voice tone changes. You know, because you see, it begins from within. It begins from within. How are you watering your internal self? You know, it begins in those nights after the evening, after the day turns to night, when darkness comes. You know, it's the time where you go inward to rejuvenate, to good night's rest, to making sure you're eating properly, making sure that you're treating yourself in a valuable way. Therefore, allowing others to treat you valuable. Because when this throne is done, spiritually I'll still may be around, but when this throne is done, that means I'm gone. You just have to go search through my poem and all those other things. So I got to treat myself good. Because, you know, everyone is watching, but most of all, I am watching. Most of all, the Almighty is watching. Because, you know, hey, I've been here sometimes. I've seen many decades. but that doesn't mean it should show on my exterior. Let my wisdom tell you how long I've been here.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there.
Yes, indeed. Okay. We utilizing your jar today, Irene. Yeah. So if you want to purchase you a jar, affirmation jar, they're available at Nikki's. And I'm going to read off my affirmation. You are deserving turn that around. Hello. Yes, I am.
Hello. Yes, you are.
And so are all of you guys. You guys are all deserving of anything that you want.
Yeah.
Wish it, dream
Yes.
it, do it. So we're going to
That's
end this
right.
show with everyone giving a word of power. It doesn't have to be the one we use today. Don't have to elaborate. Just give a word. A word of power.
One word.
One word of power, you guys. So I'm going to give strength. Strength.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, Savanya.
Honesty.
Honesty.
Stillness. Stillness.
Stillness.
Life itself.
Life. What you guys got on the line? Kirk, you still on the line?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, give us a
One
word
word
of
of
power.
power.
Just
Can you
one
hear me?
word. Yes, just one word of power.
No explanation. One word.
Love.
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 Love. Reverend Cleveland.
Courageous.
Courageous. Yes.
I'm gonna take us out. Conqueror.
Conqueror. Yes. Yes. So use all those words of power today.
What was yours?
Mine was strength.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes,
Got you.
yes,
Got
yes.
you.
Keep the strength to
Yes.
move forward to another day. And if you wish it, dream it, do it. Okay. Thanks for watching Made for a Boss TV, the Empowerment Podcast with special guest Kun the Poet and Miss Rashamba. My sis Savanya, we got Deshaun the Messenger, Reverend Cleveland, we got Kirk, we had Nate on, and I just thank everyone for calling in today. I really appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channel, Made for a Boss TV. We are on YouTube, Spotify, and always follow me live on Nikki's Facebook, Nikki Potter. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
Have you heard the story about the little boy whose life was saved by poetry?
Thank you, Kirk. Thank you,
Nursing
everyone.
himself back to good health, lyric. One rhyme after heavy line at a time with each verse. His pain was reversed, taking him one heartbeat further away from being flatlined, getting his back. The embrace to keep a straight face in a crooked place. Trust me when I say it ain't so easy being a stand-up guy with a cracked spine.
Yes. So I have a positive quote to give out today. A positive mind always finds a reason to shine.
The energy will jump on.
A positive mind always finds a reason to shine. So keep shining, y'all.
Keep shining. Shine your light. Shine your light.
Boss Work Entertainment. Let's get it. Made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, yes, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss. What you really gonna do? Waste your time and not receive these blessings? If you gonna stay stuck at the bottom and motivated, not learning your lessons, better rise up, realize your potential, and aim for the sky. Got no time to be playing, polluting my body and mind with the enemy's high. I'm fed up, I'm walking in royalty, recognize you a king. Just call us to God, tap into his power, and you gonna do marvelous things. Recognize where you come from. It was heaven on earth, the beginning of life. 360 degrees of knowledge, inherit your rights. I rose from the ashes, now I'm in charge and I'm taking back my control. I move like a boss, I'm living free, no longer touching my soul. This what he had to be, this had to be divine intervention. They call me the messenger, giving out hope, and I'm praying that somebody listening better boss up. Use your mind and leave behind a legacy. The devil ain't playing, he deceitful, and it's hard for the treachery. Prison and jail, living in hell, that ain't no life for a king. I wanna live well, time to prevail, conquering everything. Made for a boss, 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 made for a boss. Turn up, come on. Made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, yes, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, made for a boss, yes, made for a boss.